Welcome back, everyone. Well, I thought we would wrap up this discussion on world composition by answering some questions that are likely to come up. So let's jump right to it. Question number 1. I just loaded my base level. Where are all my level tiles in world composition? Well, I've gone through this a couple times, but just to reiterate, here I am in my landscape base level, and it looks like I've got nothing here. Although if I go into world composition, I see some gray tiles, but not in my viewport. What is going on? Well, the problem here is you need to load in all of your levels, all of your level tiles. Whenever you see your tiles here in gray, that indicates that they are not loaded in. So if you go to your levels tab, here are all of your level tiles. You need to load them all in. I'm going to select our first one here, and I'm going to hold down Shift and left click. Then we're going to right click, and let's load them all in and give it a little time here. And once it's done doing its thing, you will see it suddenly pop into existence. And now if you go over to your world composition tab, you will see it all not in gray anymore, but whatever color you have painted it, whatever landscape layer that you've painted on top of that. Okay, next question. Do I need to make a sub-level current in order to edit it? By sub-levels, we're talking about all of these different level tiles here, all these different levels that exist in this sub-levels folder right here, all these different level tiles. Do you need to make them current? And by current, we mean, do we need to make it in blue here? You can right click on any level to make it current. And if you remember, when a level is current, any actor that you then add to your world here gets added to that particular level, such as static meshes, particle effects, etc. Now, in order to edit a given level tile, that is, to sculpt or paint it, it does not need to be in blue here. It does not need to be set as your current level. However, it does have to be loaded in. So just to demonstrate this, I am going to go over to my landscape mode. We got our sculpt tab, sculpt tool here, good strength. And currently my middle tile here, which is X0, Y0, it is loaded, but it is not the current one. However, if I was to left click, you can see I can sculpt that just fine. Likewise, if I was to go over to paint, I could choose a little snow and I could paint some snow on there. So it does not have to be current in order to sculpt or paint it. Okay, next question. I created a new sublevel. Why doesn't it show in my levels tab? Well, let's go through this process of trying to create a new sublevel. So I'm going to come into my content browser here. And here I am in my sub-levels folder. I'm going to right-click in some empty space here. Let's create a brand new level. I'm going to simply call this Delete Me because I want to delete it out afterward. And now, if I was to go to my Levels tab, I don't see any level called Delete Me. Well, maybe I need to save that level. Well, let me go back to my Levels tab, and I still don't see it. Well, the problem here is we need to reload our base level here. So if you come under File, and let's come under Recent Levels, there is our landscape base. Let's go ahead and reload this once again. Going to ask if we want to save some of these sub-levels here that I have altered. Let's say yes. And now, once we come back in our Levels tab, we can see there is our sub-level Delete Me. Now, all of my other sub-levels have disappeared because we have to load them back in. Right-click and load them back in. But that is how you can get a new sub-level to appear. Now, this sub-level, we didn't have anything in there. It was a completely blank level, but that is how you could add another level in here. I could make this current. I could then add in a new landscape, and then I could see something else for this particular level. but that is how you can get it to show back up in your levels tab here. I'm going to go back into my content browser and just nuke this out because I don't want it. Let's delete that. Gone. All right, next question here. Why don't tiles update in our world composition tab after I sculpt or paint them? Well, let me just demonstrate this. I am currently in landscape painting mode. I am going to paint this little wing over here, which is the same wing down here in my world composition. Let's paint some snow, shall we? And you see that it reflects in real time here in my viewport, but not down here in world composition. Now, if I just simply right click, move around in world composition here a little bit and hit F5, you will see that update just fine. So again, F5, a little refreshing, will make that appear down in world composition. Let's see, next question. Can you please explain all of the other icons next to each level in the Levels tab? Well, sure. By this, we're talking about here in our Levels tab, all these different icons right over here. The lock icon. When a level is locked, it's going to turn gray and it cannot be moved or edited. So let's go ahead and give this a shot. I'm going to lock this X2, Y0 level right here. And if I jump over to world composition, we can see that that level tile is now locked, and I'm trying to left click on this and move it. I cannot do that. You can see that if I try to paint it, my brush won't even go on that level tab at all. It is completely locking me out from doing any editing. So let's go ahead and unlock that right away. The next icon over is our little controller icon. What that's going to do is open up a level blueprint for that particular sub-level. So just to show you what that looks like, it's your regular level blueprint, nothing special. It is just associated with that particular sub-level. Okay, next one over, we've got the little disk icon here. That is for saving a specific level. Anytime you see this little pencil mark over it, that means that some edit has been made since the last time you saved it. For me in particular, I painted some snow here on this. So if I click that, it's going to save that sub-level. And then we've got this little color box here. This allows you to associate a given color to a level to help you identify it. So let's do this. I'm going to check this right here. Going to click on that, and I'm going to change this to some shade of red, okay? So you see that color of red right here? Now, the only way to visualize this is we've got to come under our Show button up here, and under Advanced Level Coloration, you turn that on, and you can see now that red color is highlighting our level tile right over here. Now, this isn't something I really use too much, but if you wanted some help identifying which landscape tile is which, that is a way you can do it. So I'm going to set this back to straight white like I had it. 1, 1. And let me just go under Show, Advanced, and turn off that level coloration. And finally, what do I do if I get an error message like this? Like what? Well, here I have in my message log an error message like this. Something that says landscape streaming proxy has overlapping render components. What happened here? Well, you will see this sort of message if you are in world composition and you're doing something like this where you're taking one level tile and you're overlapping it with another. As soon as I released there, it brought up this error message. So simply ensure that none of your tiles are overlapping. All right, guys, that is going to do it here for some world composition Q&A. These are the tools, your world composition tools, how you can make massive open worlds. Make sure that you are also making streaming layers and that you are assigning them to your various landscape level tiles to save on performance. Guys, that'll do it all for this section. We will see you in the next one.